part of our children's daily lives. It can be used in many positive ways, but can also be destructive and harmful when used incorrectly.
Italian actress Asia Argento recently settled a complaint filed against her by actor Jimmy Bennett, who says she sexually assaulted him when he was 17 years old. Argento, one of the leaders of the Me Too movement, allegedly paid Bennett $380,000 last year. That's according to the New York Times. The jury in the criminal trial against former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort resumed today, beginning its third day of deliberations. This is USA Radio News.
Are you one of those people who thinks it's okay to drive stoned? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You end up driving below the speed limit? It's no big deal, right? Wrong. The truth is, your reaction times slow way down when you're high. You not only put yourself in danger, but everyone around you. Talk about a buzzkill. Stop kidding yourself. It's not okay to drive high. If you've been using marijuana in any form, do not get behind the wheel. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
I've been telling you for a year how great MyPillow is. Well, guess what? There's a great deal on MyPillow.com. You can get 4 pillows for about the price of 1 MyPillow. Click on the 4-pack special when you go to MyPillow.com. Enter promo code USA. You'll get 2 MyPillow premium pillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows, perfect for travel, for half off. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the 4-pack special, enter promo code USA, but do it now.
Late in 2017, President Trump was able to pass a tax cut plan. Now there's been talk of a phase 2 to a tax cut plan. Maddie Duppler is the president of Forward Strategies and also senior fellow with the National Taxpayers Union. She talks about how she looks at tax reform.
Listen, I like to think about tax reform phasing in 3 different ways. The first was that first month of this year when we saw businesses start to offer bonuses and increased compensation because of the tax reform law. Now, that was just a one-time bonus for workers, but obviously it benefited millions of workers in this country. Secondly, there was a change in the withholding table, so people's paychecks started to get bigger. And now, thirdly, we're starting to see some of the economics, some of those fundamentals change in response to changes in the tax law. Making the United States a competitive place to do business again is good for business, but it's even better for workers.
A new study from a European university says 1/3 of a farmer's fruit and vegetables never make it to store shelves. The reason? Because it's either the wrong size or misshaped. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Hey K-Shoppers, it's that time of year, the KSHP Annual Bottled Water Drive. Each year, the staff and generous listeners of KSHP Radio have collected cases of bottled water to donate to Military Appreciation Day, happening this year at Craig Ranch Park on Saturday, September 8th. This is a wonderful event that thanks our first responders, active and retired military, and their families with a day of free food, drinks, entertainment, and fun. And you can help. For every 2 cases of water that you drop off at the radio station between Friday, August 10th and Friday, August 24th, you'll earn $10 in free radio shopping show merchandise. Bring in 10 cases, get 50 in free merchandise. The sky's the limit. So help those that help us. From all of us at KSHP and the military families who benefit from this event, we would like to say thank you.
Hungry for the best barbecue in Las Vegas? Come out to the infamous barbecue and meat market, John Mole's Meats and Roadkill Grill in Las Vegas. John Mole's was featured on the Food Network's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Now take home delicious meat selections for your grill, and while you're there, grab a bite of the best barbecue in Las Vegas. With 2 locations now at Tom and Gowan or on North Decatur, you're sure to find the perfect meats for your next barbecue or party. Find us online at johnmolemeats.com.
Giving your vehicle some TLC is important. It gets you around town safely. It keeps you cool on those long drives across town, and when it's clean, it makes you look good. Your car does so much for you, you should do something special for your car. Head over to Hacienda Car Wash and Detail at 70 East Centennial Parkway and have them give your car the works with the hand wash and detail that won't break the bank. Whether you need a quick outside wash or a full-service detail, Hacienda Car Wash and Detail has the service for you.
The thoughts and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program's participants and do not necessarily represent those of station staff, management, and advertisers.
Are you looking for someone to provide training to your sales staff? Do you need a motivational speaker about how to handle change? Do you have an upcoming event that needs an MC to handle those responsibilities? Well, look no further than longtime Las Vegas radio personality Aaron Phillips. I am local to Las Vegas, and I can blend my talents with any audience. For more information, please visit www.aaronphillipsvoice.com and book me for your next event or training needs.
Attention business owners. You will have wished you met her sooner when you realize you've been missing the #1 business solution to grow your business, the copywriter to know. Ivy Brooks wants to introduce you to the power that words have over your intended market. No matter the situation, writing is the key to delivering your message with accuracy and achieving the reaction you want. Ivy combines her copywriting skills with her vast knowledge of today's modern marketing successes and her business coaching. For more information, call Ivy today at 702-712-1712 or visit her website at thecopywritertoknow.com. Why not put your best words forward?
It's that time. It's time for Aaron's Hour. Aaron's Hour. Your source for information, inspiration, motivation, and fun. If you're looking to talk politics or religion, this show's not for you. Aaron's Hour. Aaron's Hour. Conversations with the opinion makers, movers and shakers, risk takers, and your phone calls at 702-221-7283. That's 702-221-SAVE. Aaron's Hour. Aaron's Hour. Hosted by longtime Las Vegas broadcaster, author, motivational speaker, and member of the Las Vegas Entertainers Hall of Fame, Aaron Phillips. In seminars across the country, he's inspired and motivated thousands. Now he's going to inspire and motivate you, and he'll do it with passion, style, and his trademark sense of humor. Now, here is the host of Aaron's Hour, Aaron Phillips.
Welcome to hour number 2 of Aaron's Hour, coming to you live for the moment. KSHP 1400 AM Las Vegas. I am Aaron Phillips. At least that's what it said back to me in the mirror when I just came out of the restroom on break. So I am here, and Danny, he's here in the room with us.
I know, I can't look him in the eye.
I know. It's like Medusa. Methuselah, he'll kill you just with a stare. But joining us now live in studio. My heart is beating.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to my right. I'm not doing this. Killer Kross joins us here in studio. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good day, sir.
Welcome. I appreciate you taking time away from your busy schedule to be here. Also in studio is a very special bodyguard that I brought in.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that's why I brought her in. You know her as Missy Fit, sports host. Missy Lynn is joining us here in studio this morning. How are you, dear?
Good morning. It's early.
It is early for you. That's called the sun out there,
what
by
it
the
looks
way.
like, apparently.
Not at 10 o'clock at night when it's pitch black when we're doing her show. So yes, thank you for coming in, and you be my protector from the big man here. Killer Kross joins us in studio, and listen, I'm going to lay it on the table. I had the honor, because it was an honor, and it still is an honor, hasn't changed, to interview this man a few times a couple of years back on a different show that I was doing, and I'm very grateful that he's taken time out of his schedule and his duties with Austin Aries to come in and join us.
What is that exactly supposed to mean?
It just means I appreciate you being here, and you have a close relationship with Mr. Aries, and I know you're working within his bounds, and you coming in today is greatly appreciated.
Okay.
That's all. Nothing derogatory.
Excellent.
Just showing you how grateful I am, and Danny is grateful that you're here with us.
Good.
I'm grateful as well.
Yeah, Missy, you better be grateful because I'm running behind you.
So you're a bodyguard?
I am, actually.
Okay.
I'm like a hyena.
Okay.
I just laugh, and then I go for the kill. People don't see me coming.
I like that.
See that?
If you ever need any extra work, let's stay in touch.
Okay.
If this guy starts to get under your nerves, maybe we could take him for a walk. You know what I mean? You're
get
from
it.
New York.
I am, and I do it in heels too.
Oh, excellent. That's good for
they're
TV.
a weapon.
Okay.
People don't realize it.
Eye socket.
Listen, well, actually, it goes to the male genitalia, and then I scroll it down right down to their knee. When that happens, their head goes downward, and I pull them from their head and right into the kneecap.
The fact that she's thought this
Okay.
through.
You know what?
She's that detailed.
I'm gonna give Austin a call after this. I think we have a new member of a progressive faction here.
Holy cow!
Yeah, but once they're down on the ground, that's when you kick them, take their wallet.
Excellent. I hope everyone's taking notes here.
Right.
And if anyone tries to do any of these moves or copyright this on DVD, you will be hearing from me.
Does that mean I can't repost the video on my YouTube channel of us being here together?
We'll chat after.
Okay, because it may be the last signs that I'm alive. That's why I'm just making sure.
Perhaps.
So. Okay, so I'm going to give him a chance to collect his thoughts even more so because he's obviously very articulate and knows what he's doing. So I'm going to divest a little bit if that's okay with you, sir. I have a little thing that I want to do. I like to do in my second hour. It's lists, and I want to talk about the top 25 best sports movies of all time, if you don't mind. Please feel free to join in the conversation where you feel you want to or make a suggestion. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you. It's the sweat coming off.
I think you're doing all right.
Am I doing okay?
Yeah.
Danny, keep me in line, all right? Okay, so here we go. Danny, I'm not going to do all 25 because it'll take too long. So I'm going to go to the top 10. Is that all right if I cut it down so we have more time to talk?
Certainly.
Okay, thank you.
Number 1 is Best of the Best with Eric Roberts.
Okay.
Sorry, was that too? I just jumped. Okay, go ahead.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. But it wasn't the number 1. But if you want to make it number 1, I'll call them and change the list if you'd like.
All right, go ahead.
All right, let's start at 10. I'd like to go from 10 up, if that's
Oops,
all right.
all right.
Okay, no, that's all right. Listen, you want me to start with 1? I'll start with 1. You want me to start with 1 and go down?
No, you're the professional here. I can respect that.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Well, that means a lot coming from Killer here.
I hope it does, because if it didn't, we'd have a problem. But go ahead.
I know. It's all state insurance, right? Okay, number 10. You like guessing this stuff.
Sure. Okay.
And you'd be good at this, too.
These are all-time sports movies?
All-time sports movies.
Okay.
And it's put together by someone who wrote for Fox Sports. But number 10, Moneyball.
Okay.
Did you ever see that movie, sir?
I did.
Did you like it?
I enjoyed it.
It's Aaron Sorkin.
Right.
He's one of my favorites.
I've seen it over 100 times.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so...
Oh, yeah, because you're a baseball fan.
Yeah.
Big baseball fan.
I'll pick it up and watch it. It's on TV.
Yeah.
In your mind, I know you're number 1, but who would be the 10th best sports entertainer of all time in your mind? So we're going to kind of do 2 lists here at the same time.
An actual professional athlete?
If anybody, either in the world of sports entertainment or baseball, whoever in your mind is like the 10th best athlete of all time.
I'm going to say Babe Ruth.
That's it, yeah.
Number 10.
Okay.
I'm going to say Babe Ruth. And the reason being is because you could make money off of what this guy has accomplished forever.
Right.
His accomplishments, his personality, and what he did for baseball during the socioeconomic crisis of the United States during that time period is legendary. He broke down a lot of walls. He united people. There was a lot of race issues at the time in the United States, but everyone was able to sit down at a game together, and gender issues as well, and they were able to enjoy a game of baseball and just completely get away from everything that was going on in the country.
Was there truth that the Baby Ruth bar that came out was named after his daughter? Seriously,
It was,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Okay, I thought so, but because I know Babe, one of Babe's other nicknames was Baby in a lot of circles.
Right.
So, but it was named after his daughter.
Baby
See?
Ruth, yeah.
There you go. One of these Trivial Pursuit stupid facts
Nice.
that just
It
sticks to the
paid
back
off.
of my head. All right, number 9. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
It was a golfing movie. It was a golfing
Is
movie.
it Tin
Will
Cup?
Smith?
No.
Smith,
No. It's in the hole. Caddyshack?
Oh, Caddyshack. Okay.
I know my
Yeah.
impersonations are not that bad, but
No,
jeez.
yeah, no, that's good. That's
Caddyshack
fair.
was a classic. Did you like Caddyshack, sir?
I enjoyed it.
Who's your number 9 best all-time athlete? Who would be just above the Babe?
Just above the Babe. Let's say Jerry Lawler.
Oh,
The
that's a good
king.
one.
The king. I'm going to ask this very innocently, but there's got to be a feeling of condolence for him losing his son from the killer. Yes.
Absolutely.
Did you know Brian?
I had met him in passing numerous times, and he had a great energy about him. He was just such a welcoming, warm person.
Yeah.
You could tell with a guy like Brian, if you didn't know he was a professional wrestler and you didn't know he was an entertainer, you could guess that would be something he would naturally gravitate to as an occupation.
Right.
He had that energy about him. When you meet somebody, you can just kind of tell.
Yeah.
Really, really cool guy.
Sad, and we won't talk about that because there's a lot more stuff in the news about that. But yeah, I mean, the king. I wish he was still doing play-by-play in the color that he was doing on TV. Yeah, absolutely. Because the guys now can't, and you'll excuse this comparison, but can't hold his jockstrap to these guys that are doing it now on TV. All right, number 8. It's a baseball movie. It goes back to, I'll just give it.
Goodfellas.
That is a baseball movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Home run.
There was a bat in there. You're right. The Natural with Robert
Oh, yeah.
Redford.
Okay.
That was a number 8. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
That
was
wasn't
good.
that loosely based on the Yankees, kind of the New York Knights, because I think the Knights was the Yankees' name like before the turn of the century, wasn't it?
I don't remember that.
'Cause they were-
So
they were-
basically, baseball was actually clubs. That's
Right.
how baseball teams kind of got together.
Right.
I don't know about that one. I never
You had to
they
say club
obviously-
in front of Mr. Killer.
Right.
You had to say
I think
club. Like that's what
Those
he
are
does.
trigger words missing.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Oh, I forgot to ask if he's on his meds today.
I'm being triggered.
You just stop.
Are you a lefty or righty? Just so I know what side the punch is going to
I'm
come from.
ambidextrous. I like to be efficient.
He's an equal opportunity killer.
Okay.
Exactly.
Whatever. Number 7. You mentioned it before as a golfing movie, Danny. Another golfing movie. You mentioned it.
Oh, Tin Cup?
Tin Cup was number 7.
I was being a smart aleck.
Yeah, but you got it right, though. It showed up number 7 on the list. Your number 7th athlete.
I'm going to say Andy Kaufman.
Yes. That's
I mean,
Is that why you had Lawler there with him, too?
It
It's
just
interesting
seems
you had him
natural.
first.
Yeah, it just Andy Kaufman brought a lot of attention to the art of professional wrestling, and actually brought a lot of attention inadvertently to sports, because there was an argument at the time, the legitimacy of professional wrestling versus actual athletes, and it just opened up a lot of different conversations and perspectives at that time, I think.
Yeah, no. What did you think of Jim Carrey's role of playing him in that movie?
I love that movie. I can watch that on loop over and over and over again.
They said it really played with Jim Carrey's mind because he was in character 24/7 as
There's
Andy
a
Kaufman.
documentary about it on
Right?
Netflix.
Yeah. I'm going to jump to the top 5 since we're running out of time in this segment. Number 5 was a classic baseball movie, Bull Durham.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That was a good one. Who's your number 5 on your list? Would you say?
I'm going to say Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods. He's been playing well lately.
Red shirt, baby. Red shirt, black slacks.
Number 4. This is kind of surprising. Major League.
Okay.
Okay, we'll accept it.
I like
It's
it.
kind of a parody on baseball in a way. I mean, I didn't think it would make a top 10 list as the 4th best sports movie of all time, but did you watch those series of movies? Major League 1 and Major League 2 about the Cleveland Indians when they were down and out. And okay, Shay, say
Bob Uecker is amazing.
Bob Uecker's funny in that movie. Your number 4th athlete.
It's getting tough, but I'm going to say Kurt Angle.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that? Why would you put him number 4?
I would put him number 4 because he won a gold medal for the United States.
Okay.
I'm going to be biased on that one.
Of course.
And wrestling, in my opinion, is the hardest sport in the world, one of the oldest sports in the world. And he did it with a broken freaking neck.
That's right.
Did he
That's
really?
right.
And became one of the best ever.
Yeah.
And then transitioned into professional wrestling.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you're using the term pro wrestling because a lot of people now refer to as sports entertainment.
Sure.
Does that bother you that the terminology sort of changed?
Not at all, because in my mind, professional wrestling is a performance art. So people can call it whatever they like, and it kind of falls on the business and the industry itself as to why people struggle with how to identify what it is, because there's so much secrecy involved. You know, everyone thinks that they have a really good grip on what professional wrestling or sports entertainment is, but they still don't know. They have no idea.
Crazy. I'm sorry. Do you remember when we did? Well, you may remember. I hope you remember.
Are you insinuating that I'm supposed to remember?
I'm insinuating. I hope you remember.
Oh, okay.
When we did that interview previously, Jeff Bearden, the Giant Warrior, was in studio with us. He is in our Facebook feed, and I'm hoping that I can get him to call in and maybe say hello to you if that's okay.
That would be all right.
Okay.
You didn't say Mother May I.
I know. Thank you, Master. Okay, so let me go to the top 2 real quickly here. Number 2, Field of Dreams.
Okay.
That was a good movie. Did you see it?
It's all right.
Did you see it?
I did not.
You didn't see Field of Dreams?
Don't
It's
waste your time.
classic. Oh my goodness.
Don't waste your time?
It's
Really?
just all right. Like it's always every dad's favorite movie.
That's true. It is a great father-son type of movie.
But I've watched it and I'm like, all right.
I love it.
Okay.
I do too.
I believe you.
I don't have a father.
Oh, well.
No,
Here we go.
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? That came up last night on the pay-per-view. And the number 1 movie of all time was a basketball movie that I think just about everybody may agree then.
It's going to be Hoosiers, right?
You got it.
Hoosiers.
Hoosiers was number
Sure.
1.
Gene
Who's your number 1 all-time favorite athlete besides yourself?
It's got to be, first of all, I don't appreciate the assumption there.
No, I just presume that you consider yourself.
Let me have a sip of water here so I can just wash back the body temperature.
Sir. Okay, thank you.
I'm going to say Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan has to be. He's transcended, so many different barriers. And then following him, or before him, I should say, because you didn't ask me that. You just jumped to number 1.
Yeah, sorry, I did.
Yes, you did.
To be more efficient, I was trying, but
I would have said Mike Tyson if you asked me.
Now, based on your number 1 answer, I would have thought maybe LeBron. Where do you fall in that LeBron category? Where would you place him?
In all honesty, my attention span has been very limited over the last few years, and I've actually fallen very far away from sports.
Okay. Understandable.
Not even just sports in general, but just watching television in general.
Sure.
I'm always on the road. I'm always gone. So now I follow all of my news and information on small feeds and independent feeds and such like that. So
Right.
it's hard for me to be able to sit down and watch something unless I'm actually there live. But I know who LeBron James is, obviously, and what he's doing right now is pretty profound.
May I ask why Mike Tyson was number 2 for you?
Because I feel that combat sports, they're demonized in certain parts of the world, in certain demographics. I would have loved to have said Mike Tyson as number 1 for my personal pick, but I think that Michael Jordan probably has done more for the world in a positive manner.
Biting off ears? Well, I know that's kind of your thing now, but, you
yes.
know.
Well, yeah, actually.
I mean, it can be.
That's
right?
correct.
Right.
I got to get my calories.
I forgot. There's high protein in there, too, isn't there?
There certainly is.
See? Okay, with that, we're going to go to our first break.
Let's do it.
Okay, 911's on my speed dial, I think. Okay. We'll be back more with Killer Kross. Aaron Phillips Hour coming back, I hope, right after this.
To drop off or pick up a package across town, but you don't have time? Did you leave an item in an Uber or friend's house and need it back ASAP? You name it, and we can pick it up and deliver it to any destination in the Las Vegas or Henderson area the same day. Express services are also available. Rates as low as $12. Visit blazingcouriers.com or call 877-371-9817 or text 702-429-7418. That's blazingcouriers.com.
Heart of Polynesia invites you to join the fun for their 10th annual Luau of the Fall on October 20th. The event will be held at the Magical Castle Banquet Hall located at 4339 Corporate Center Drive, Suite 100. There will be wonderful music, beautiful costumes, great traditional foods, and high-energy performances. Tickets are now available in advance by calling Tusi at 702-497-4398. That's 702-497-4398. Doors will open at 3 p.m. Tickets are going fast for the 10th annual Fall Luau hosted by Heart of Polynesia. Get your tickets today by calling Tusi at 702-497-4398. Mahalo. All right, welcome back to Aaron's Hour. Coming to you live from KSHP 1400 AM in Las Vegas. Thank you for watching on the Facebook feed. Thank you for listening on podcasts if you are. Thank you for listening on the 1400 AM local channel. We greatly appreciate you tuning in. My special guest today in studio right now, and I'm glad I'm back on the air to talk about it, is Killer Kross. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic.
I know you are. You look fantastic all the time.
Thank you.
You work hard at what you do. I know you do.
I do.
You do. Where can people kind of keep tabs with you and what you're doing nowadays in the world of pro wrestling?
Well, I've decided to make myself a little bit more available to the public. So from now on, you can follow me on killerkross.com, KROSS.com. It has all of my bookings. It has all of my appearances, my history, merchandise, media, everything you could possibly think of, and all social media is attached to that website.
And I've been on it, and I'm on it, and I did see a couple of things in your merchandise section that I'm going to have to add to my clothing line, if that's okay. If you'll allow me to represent you doing things that I do, is that all right?
I expect you to.
Okay.
Number one, and number two, I would be very pleased if you could spread the word of the Kross cult.
Absolutely.
Right.
I would be more than happy to. He said cult, didn't he?
No, it is.
I know.
Rare
I know it is.
steaks and
I know.
That's right.
and hard booze.
Now,
Hard booze?
I guess I'm
in
just
comparison to soft booze, I mean, what?
I don't know.
Would you like to?
I'm just
ask-
trying to stay in his good graces.
I know you are,
Crying
but
out
now I'm
loud.
going to put you in the target. Why don't you ask Killer a question? Because I know you've got questions.
No, I'm just super excited that you're here. We talked off air a little bit. I originally, if you've never seen Killer Kross in action, I'm telling you, go find Lucha Underground, find TNA Impact, or it's Impact Wrestling now.
Sure.
Go find this guy and watch, and tell me you're not just pulled right in. We went originally, me and my son went to an FSW, Future Stars of Wrestling event.
Right.
This was years ago. One of my good friends was managing, not that you need a manager, but you had an associate, Sal E., that was accompanying you to the ring.
He's a good man.
He's a really good man, a good friend of mine. We go way back. That's what I came to go see. Out comes Killer Kross, and my son and I both go, who's that guy? We watch the match. It's one of the spectacular Killer Kross matches where he just annihilates the guy in the ring. The finisher, the Saito suplex, the most devastating. How they land on their neck and their head. So the match is over. He goes to the back. My son looks at me and he goes, well, my son's at like 11 at the time. He goes, that's my favorite wrestler. And I was like, yeah. I go, and ever since then, wherever he's gone, we follow and we watch. And go watch this guy on Impact Wrestling and tell me that this guy isn't the future of the sport. Like, it's really fun to watch you come up and annihilate guys along the way. And there's this very old school style about you. You're not jumping off of top ropes. You're not doing frog splashes or things like that. You're
couldn't though.
No, not that you couldn't. But he's hurting guys and he's telling you a story along the way.
He's telling it straight up.
And you're sucked right in, and it's really fantastic.
Absolutely.
And, so how did you know that this? Because you did a little fighting before you were into sports entertainment, professional wrestling. When did you decide, like, hey, I'm good at this? Like, I want to continue this. I want to make this my career.
I tried to keep all that stuff to myself for as long as I could. Eventually, just people found out about it. I was competing bare knuckle on native reserves and such for quite some time. It was the closest thing I could possibly get to mixed martial arts from where I lived, and at the time it was in Ontario.
Okay.
And it was just I don't know. I was crazier then than I was now, and I just wanted to see if all this stuff I had been learning my entire life actually worked in a practical setting. I always wanted to be a professional wrestler, though. I just never really had a support system to encourage me to pursue it. You know, it was kind of like I was in a heavily macho environment where it was perceived as, hey, if you could do this for real, you know, you could lace people out cold on television in this sort of setting.
Yeah.
They just basically said, hey, why don't you just do that? And I was very comfortable with conflict, but they just didn't understand that I was really attracted to the spectacle and the storytelling and the art of professional wrestling. Right. So eventually I just decided, I was here in Las Vegas. I went down to the Professional Wrestling Academy, Future Stars of Wrestling. Mike Modest and Disco Inferno were the head instructors at the time. And I always knew since I was a kid, the moment I stepped into that ring, that it was just going to take over my life. And I tried to do everything that I possibly could, every other type of job you could possibly think of, to avoid doing this, because I knew it was going to be the beginning and the end of everything. It was going to change my life. So the first month I was training, I was in the ring. So it just took off, and I became very obsessive and compulsive about it.
You just know, don't you, when something's right?
Yeah, and it's, you know, we're I guess just the way society operates, they tell you need to allow yourself to develop as a person to make really big, important decisions. And that's true 99% of the time. But it's just, in this particular situation, I decided when I was a little kid, before I had, you know, any sort of true understanding or comprehension of how life works and what goes into things and what comes out of it, that this was what I was going to do, and I could never shake that. It was a decision I made since I was a kid. And as much as I tried to put it in the back of my head, it was always subconsciously there. And here we are.
And relatively speaking, looking at your correct bio, I'm sure, you're relatively new to the game. You're not in it like 15 years already professionally. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So the strides that Killer has made in wrestling terms of relatively short period of time is accolades to his skill set in the world of pro wrestling. And to make that kind of impact, say what I did there, impact. Like it is kudos to making such that difference in the world of pro wrestling.
Thank you.
I think it's tremendous. And now your home base, is that still here in Vegas?
Yes, it is. I'm going to be staying here. I like this place.
Okay, that's good. Do I have to warn anybody that you're moving into any areas or?
No, don't. That takes the fun out of it.
Okay.
Yeah. And they'll find out. They'll find out.
Sure.
Right. Soon enough, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What the travels? Because you're traveling a lot. You're in AAA. You're wrestling down in Mexico with AAA Impact. There's Lucha Underground. I know Lucha Underground, they kind of do everything like a TV series. They do everything all at once. But what's your travel schedule like? Are you home very often, or are you pretty much on the road more than you're at home?
I am on the road more than I'm at home, which is, that's par for the course of this.
That's life as a pro wrestler.
The more you take on, that's the life you're going to be living.
Right.
So I think the travel beats us up a lot more than what actually is going on on television.
Yeah, it's got a lot of wear and tear on the body, I would think, more so than anything. Other than your time working out and staying fit, when you're on the road so often, what do you do to entertain yourself?
I watch documentaries.
Like what? What type of documentary do you like to watch?
I honestly,
Maiming and Killing, maybe.
Perhaps. Perhaps if the FBI's
Jack the
listening,
Ripper.
then, you know.
Yeah, no.
Black
I
helicopters.
said,
Black
exactly.
helicopters. You know, probably one of my favorite documentary series to watch is Zeitgeist, if anyone's ever seen any of that. It's, it just covers world history, economics, politics, and even goes into sort of the pharmaceutical industry. And I just try to find things that I don't know anything about, and I watch them. That's what I do.
So that's the other thing I really appreciate about Killer Kross. So he's not your stereotypical big muscly wrestler. Like this guy, and I think.
Well, yes, he is. You're not sitting next to him.
I think this is what makes
his muscles are hurting me and we got 3 feet between us.
What makes Killer Kross so complex is he's a smart guy. If you follow him on social media, you follow him on Twitter and Facebook, he's telling you about things that he knows. He's telling you about from watching documentaries, from reading. This guy's not a dumb guy. This guy's a smart guy. And it makes the Killer Kross persona and the person Killer Kross, it makes him that much more
intriguing.
Yeah, more intriguing. When
more
you watch
complex.
Him when you watch him on TV, you're like, this guy knows something. So I'm all into the Kross cult, all the way in.
Excellent.
So here's a question: when you're traveling, how many bouncers do you have around you, or is it just you?
Do you think he needs a bouncer?
There was always,
I'll tell you, there have been.
Chuck Norris had some.
I bet in Mexico.
But
because you were like, this guy in Mexico is like, he's killing these luchadors in Mexico, and I've seen the crowds.
There have been some times where the armed forces in Mexico have had to walk me out of the building, fully armed, full clip with automatics, because the crowd was so livid at what had happened. I mean, there was one particular instance. There was a gentleman named Tejano, and I believe we were in Tijuana at the time, if I recall correctly. He had a neck injury. He was commentating. He had a neck brace on, and I basically lured his friend at the time, Phantasma, to dive out of the ring at me. He jumped about 12 feet in the air, and I just, by complete accident, stepped aside. I thought he was going to hit the floor, which would have been hilarious, but he hit Tejano in the neck brace. So I decided to drag Tejano into the audience, pull the neck brace off, and then grab him by his throat and choke slam him. I think it was probably 3 levels down through a popcorn table onto the concrete. People were really upset about that night.
Yeah,
that was their hometown
Just your
guy.
average Saturday night.
Yeah.
And then they tried to load him up onto the gurney, and I flipped the gurney over. That was pretty funny.
So the guy's on the gurney. It's on YouTube. You can go find it. The guy's on the gurney, and he's had enough, but not enough for Killer Kross.
No. I just don't think the point. I just don't think I got the point across.
No.
I just wanted him to know that this was the match that he never wanted. I wanted him to be clear about it. I wanted his family to watch the
and
show.
You're not a big fan of popcorn.
Not a big fan of popcorn.
It gets stuck in your teeth and all that.
Yeah.
No.
There's not a lot of high calories in that.
No. Is it a prerequisite when somebody's on a gurney that you have to flip them? I've never seen anybody get on a gurney never not be flipped.
Exactly.
Right? It's a requirement.
Exactly. Right. That was my understanding.
Right.
That was my understanding.
Okay. See, I caught that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to step aside for our bottom of the hour break. You're listening to Aaron's Hour, coming to you live from KSHP 1400 AM Las Vegas. Very special guest in studio with us today. Missy is joining us, and Killer Kross. You want to be part of what this man does. We'll be back with more right after this. Heart of Polynesia invites you to join the fun for their 10th annual Luau of the Fall on October 20th. The event will be held at the Magical Castle Banquet Hall located at 4339 Corporate Center Drive, Suite 100. There will be wonderful music, beautiful costumes, great traditional foods, and high-energy performances. Tickets are now available in advance by calling Tusi at 702-497-4398. That's 702-497-4398. Doors will open at 3 p.m. Tickets are going fast for the 10th annual Fall Luau, hosted by Heart of Polynesia. Get your tickets today by calling Tusi at 702-497-4398. Mahalo.
How many times have you looked back at your staff and wished there was a better way to know how well they'll perform at their position? Over time, how much money have you wasted on the wrong hire? Guess what? There's a better way. Upside Business Solutions gives you the tools to understand how your staff will reach peak performance. Other personality assessments, such as DISC, Myers-Briggs, and StrengthsFinder, does not tell you how someone will perform. Upside Business Solutions uses the Colby assessment to identify the natural way an individual will take action. With this assessment, the candidate will have the natural ability to meet the job expectations you establish to find the best hire. Contact Vicky at 702-506-2960 to schedule a consultation. Mention Aaron's Hour and receive 15% off a Colby A assessment. When you're ready to uncover the mystery of human performance, call Vicky at 702-506-2960 to help bring out the best in your people.
Are you looking for someone to provide training to your sales staff? Do you need a motivational speaker about how to handle change? Do you have an upcoming event that needs an MC to handle those responsibilities? Well, look no further than longtime Las Vegas radio personality Aaron Phillips. I am local to Las Vegas, and I can blend my talents with any audience. For more information, please visit www.aaronphillipsvoice.com and book me for your next event or training needs. All right, welcome back. Aaron's Hour. Coming around the clubhouse turn here. Hour number 2. We have survived half of hour number 2, Danny.
Yeah, I'm feeling better about my chances. I have a giant console.
Yeah, I was going to say you're on the other side of the desk.
Although you have speed on your, you've got speed. I don't have that. I've got this window to jump through if I need.
But I have a funny feeling this man can leap over this desk in a single bound
I'm
if
sure.
you needed to. So don't think you're totally comfortable back there.
I'm not getting comfortable.
Don't
at
be
all.
too comfortable.
No.
All right, so you've obviously, talking now present time, have been making a rather huge impact on Impact Wrestling. Tell me, if you can, if you choose to, how did you become supportive of Austin Aries and your working relationship with him?
Sure. I mean, Austin Aries and I are two totally different people from a diet standpoint.
Yeah?
I'm a carnivore.
Right.
He is a herbivore.
All right.
A little bit bigger than he is.
Just a little.
Just a bit.
He goes by, he's under 6 feet. He's right at 6 feet.
I'm not
on
going
a good
to,
hair day.
I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay. Gotcha.
But
he's not your weight, though.
No.
He's not. He might be around my weight now.
Yes.
Okay.
However, he's one of the best professional wrestlers in the world. He knows
Absolutely.
exactly what he's doing. He knows what's best for business.
Right. Catchphrase.
And,
Yes. Yep.
Him and I have aligned ourselves on the common ground that we are both striving for change. We like to provoke change.
Okay.
Professional wrestling fans want change, and we're going to give it to them.
Okay.
So that's basically where him and I find our common ground, and you're going to be seeing a lot more of that in the immediate future on Impact.
What things within pro wrestling are you guys trying to change that the fans want, or what kind of change do the fans want that you're trying to implement?
We are going to create a new guard in this industry.
Okay.
Primarily us.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because we can, and
Right.
we will.
No doubt.
I just, from my personal standpoint, I think that everybody in this business has an agenda. Anyone who says that they don't is
lying.
Yes. And so we've just made our agenda public. We're going to take over. We don't have to answer to anyone. There are no governing bodies that are going to oversee and try to arbitrate our decisions and the things we're going to do. We're going to go out there and we're going to take over.
Gotcha.
Bottom line.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I'm behind it.
I'm in.
I'm on the team.
I want that change.
Absolutely.
You guys want hyper-violence in your television programming?
Absolutely.
Why not?
I'm going to give it to you.
It's more exciting.
Absolutely.
Now, I could see where Killer would have also fit very, very well in another time of pro wrestling, what was called the Attitude Era.
Sure.
I mean, you were for that time, but now you're recreating that in your own way with Mr. Aries, your own Attitude Era in pro wrestling. Would that be a fair assessment?
It's a fair assessment, and it's a very high compliment, and I can acknowledge that. So thank you. And
you're welcome.
I just think that there are elements that have been presented in professional wrestling that are no longer present in this common era, and fans miss that. And I believe in providing original content and an original presentation, but I think that there are times when I can give a nod to those things that people miss. I can kind of trickle those things back in. You mentioned my style in the ring. It's completely deliberate. There's a lot of things that I can do that no one will ever know that I can do, and I'm not going to do those things because I think that in the manner that I can contribute to the programming, it needs to be in a very specific direction, and that's the direction that I am fully 100% and sincerely committed to.
Right.
Whether it's in ring or it's presentation, as you mentioned with the Attitude, I'm looking to bring that stuff back to programming.
Is there somebody from that era, the Attitude era, that, like, if you had a bucket list of wrestlers to be in the ring with, who would give me two from that era that you would have loved to have hooked up with?
The Rock is definitely number one.
Or any era. Like, who are some of your influences?
I'm going to ask him the old Mount Rushmore question in a bit. Yeah, I'm going to get to that one too.
The Rock would have been a match I would have been looking for, and still perhaps potentially still am.
Okay, well that would be interesting
in the
That'd be
proper,
awesome.
in the correct setting.
Sure.
Chris Jericho would definitely be one of them. He's, in my opinion, probably the best professional
You
wrestler.
got to stow away on his cruise then.
Well, now you're giving me ideas. Now we're cooking with gas.
What would be the perfect setting for you in The Rock? I mean, what does that entail? Like a 300 type of a theme?
We
You
need
guys are
like
just-
gladiators.
Yeah, like that would
We
be
need
awesome.
the biggest arena possible.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
long-term goal.
Well, Wembley holds what, over 100 and something thousand, doesn't it, in the UK?
Yeah.
Here in the
somewhere- something
States,
around
you
there.
got the stadium that the Wolverines play in, my Nittany Lions, all well over 100,000 seats.
I'm thinking more just like by Red Rock.
Put them out in
And
the desert.
In the desert, yeah.
Just go out. Oh, that would be cool.
That would be an epic.
I would do it in a heartbeat. We
That would be epic.
we worked a venue in Monterrey, in Mexico. It was an old bullfighting arena. It was one of the craziest venues I've ever worked. It looked like Caesar's Palace. That would be a very cool setting
Yeah.
as well.
Wow.
That'd be awesome. I love the Chris Jericho idea because Chris Jericho has been popping up around places. New Japan
Yep.
comes in and out of the WWE, but
Yep.
I would, and I know he goes. I think he goes way back with Don Callis, and so that's an impact. Maybe we might see Chris
Well,
Jericho
didn't
in
he?
Impact.
Wasn't there
someday.
something that recently came out, maybe a week ago? I think I read in the line where his name has come up wanting to appear on
I would
Impact.
love
has.
that. I
So-
would love that.
So yeah, I'm on top
So
of this.
would I.
I'm on
Yeah,
Man,
that's a big one.
All right, so he kind of brought it up. So you're Mount Rushmore. Give me four heads of pro wrestling that have impacted the industry or pop
Or just
culture,
you.
whatever.
Yeah.
Four people.
I'll give you my personal four.
Okay.
First one up is the Loose Cannon Brian Pillman.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Okay.
Second, I'm going to say Kenta Kobashi.
Okay.
Okay.
Third, I will say Brock Lesnar.
Why? Why Brock?
Brock Lesnar is an accomplished athlete. He's done some things that are never going to be repeated as an athlete and as an entertainer.
Okay.
I know he gets a lot of flack from fans and such for, I guess, how they perceive his work rate. But I think he's doing everything and anything that he needs to do for his position.
Yep.
So I'm not one of those people who flips out about anything that he does. I think everything he does is fantastic.
Okay. Marrying Sable wasn't bad either, by the way.
Oh,
Sorry.
did well.
You did well there.
Number four, I mean, and it's hard to narrow it down to only four, but I'm going to say Gary Albright.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Gary Albright was really, really, really. He left an impression on me in the way that he conducted himself as a worker, especially in Japan. He made people second guess what he was doing in the ring. You know, like I said, everyone is so convinced that they understand all the dynamics and the parameters of pro wrestling, what's worked, what's a shoot. A lot of people, even to this day, are not entirely positive that some of the things that Gary Albright did in Japan were a complete work. He was a legit amateur wrestler, and for his size, I mean, just the things that he did. He's not super famous, and a lot of people will have no idea who I'm even talking about right now. But for anyone who loves professional wrestling, if you could ever look up Gary Albright's work in Japan, I think it would be very entertaining for anyone who enjoys professional wrestling. He's not a super character or guy, but I mean, he's a wrestler.
Right.
So-
Right. The more than the technician and understanding the culture and the philosophy kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
And those are things. That's what I appreciate. And it's what having a son, especially like now he's 13, having a son. And this is what we love about Brock Lesnar is, you know, he had a match with Randy Orton
Right.
where he put some elbows into Randy Orton.
Cut him open.
And my son went, Dad, that's not supposed to happen. And I go, well, it did.
Right.
And so when you come across guys who can do that and make you feel that way,
Right.
This guy's one of them.
Absolutely.
It makes you appreciate, like, it just really makes you
Yeah.
appreciate the art of what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And that's Gary Albright's one of those guys. Yeah.
Just in case you didn't see the feed, Brock did lose his title last night to Reigns.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Strowman, Braun Strowman, I would love to see you against Braun Strowman.
Me
That would
too.
be a heck of a match.
Me too.
But also, you know what? You and Randy Orton would probably match up pretty well, too.
I agree. I think Orton's probably one of the best professional wrestlers of the common era as well.
You get comparisons to Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I get comparisons to him. I get comparisons to The Rock, and then just random people of the wrestling style. And, you know what? To be honest with you, I've always taken as a high compliment.
Sure.
The guy's a self-made millionaire.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone knows who he is, and yeah, I mean, I've just always been very flattered by the comparisons. I mean, you know what a really bad situation would be is if people couldn't compare you to anybody.
Right. Exactly.
It's like
then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I do have someone on my Facebook right now, Robert Ketton. He said back to you and The Rock, he said you should suggest that they do a match at the top of our local mountains and call him the King of the Mountain.
Oh, boy.
I like this.
See, Vegas people are good.
See that?
That's good.
I mean, Las
sounds
Vegas
epic.
is the entertainment mecca of the world. So, I mean, why not do it here?
I could see that. I could see, you know what? I could see that. And I have Joe Tasso, Cowboy Joe, is a friend of mine. I could see you guys brawling up at Bonnie Springs in the saloon town, going in and out of the buildings, just breaking buildings and the horse tie-ups.
Jumping back and forth from that train.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can make. I got a friend up there. You know.
Start making.
I know
some calls.
Good to go.
Killer here would just go anywhere. He doesn't care where the fight is. He'll go to the fight and just take care of business. All right, we're going to step aside for our final break. You're listening to Aaron Phillips coming to you live from KSHP 1400 AM Las Vegas. The Clubhouse Turn up next. We'll be back.
How many times have you looked back at your staff and wished there was a better way to know how well they'll perform at their position? Over time, how much money have you wasted on the wrong hire? Guess what? There's a better way. Upside Business Solutions gives you the tools to understand how your staff will reach peak performance. Other personality assessments, such as DISC, Myers-Briggs, and StrengthsFinder, does not tell you how someone will perform. Upside Business Solutions uses the Colby assessment to identify the natural way an individual will take action. With this assessment, the candidate will have the natural ability to meet the job expectations you establish to find the best hire. Contact Vicky at 702-506-2960 to schedule a consultation. Mention Aaron's Hour and receive 15% off a Colby A assessment. When you're ready to uncover the mystery of human performance, call Vicky at 702-506-2960 to help bring out the best in your people.
Attention business owners. You will have wished you met her sooner when you realize you've been missing the #1 business solution to grow your business. The copywriter to know. Ivy Brooks wants to introduce you to the power that words have over your intended market. No matter the situation, writing is the key to delivering your message with accuracy and achieving the reaction you want. Ivy combines her copywriting skills with her vast knowledge of today's modern marketing successes and her business coaching. For more information, call Ivy today at 702-712-1712 or visit her website at thecopywritertoknow.com. Why not put your best words forward?
Getting to know you, getting to know.
All right, welcome back. After much debate here during the timeout,
We're idiots.
we're throwing caution to the wind. Can you see this as your new theme song for you? No.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. When you're at the top of the mountain, right?
Sure. Just think the guys on the stretcher, they're playing this music.
And it's a little disarming, too, to
There you go.
the opponents in the ring going, oh, this is what he's coming out to?
It's
He has
a
no
cupcake.
idea.
It'll be a cupcake.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so the Getting to Know You segment, we're going to get to know Killer Kross on whatever level he wants to let us know about. So
Exactly.
Okay. All right, Killer. What's your favorite all-time song that when it comes on, you're rocking?
You Can Dance If You Want To. Is that the name of the song?
Oh, is that the...
what is that?
Yeah.
I know that one.
Oh, I have it in my head. I can't think of the group, though. They're like an international group.
Are you going to sing it for us?
No.
Work.
I think it's Men at Work. No,
Men
Without Hats.
Men Without Hats.
The safety dance.
Okay, the safety dance.
There's a funny story behind that.
I wish we could play it, but Facebook will kill the video, so to speak.
Yeah. I was in a very violent altercation once when that music was playing in a nightclub, so it just kind of takes me back to
Gotcha.
it. Yeah.
It's the safety dance.
So he's like Pavlov's dog. When he hears the song, he attacks. So make sure it doesn't.
Right, I'm not going to play it.
Favorite all-time actor of all time who you like to watch?
Man. I think I'm going to have to say Tom Hardy.
Yeah, that's a good one. Not Gary Busey?
I love Gary Busey.
too.
I love him. He's the best. I'm going to get his new book that was just released.
Oh, that's awesome.
Buseyisms.
Flip coin. Favorite actress?
I'm going to say Keira Knightley.
That's another
Okay,
good one.
another good one.
Yeah.
Favorite all-time movie to watch? When it's on, you're just popping well, you said popcorn is not calorie high, but whatever you want to eat.
Red meat.
Anything red meat.
Red meat bites.
Just.
I'm gonna say Best of the Best, and it's never on. I have to watch it on DVD, and I
Okay.
do all the time.
Okay. Little sausages.
It's the best sports movie of all time.
It is.
It is.
Favorite cartoon character growing up and why?
I'm gonna have to say Batman.
Why? It's my guy.
He's a detective. He was inquisitive. He was curious. He always second-guessed everything, second-guessed himself. I think.
But you don't second-guess, though. You're straightforward, head-on.
I second-guess everything, but you'd never know that I second-guess things. I
Right.
second-guess things. I'll third-guess things, but, you will never know that the thoughts are going on in my head because when I do something, I pull the trigger on it and I stay committed to it.
Yeah, there's no hesitation.
Batman's not also. He's also not afraid to do whatever it takes.
To do whatever it takes.
That's right.
Batman's my guy.
To bring these vigilantes.
And he wears
to-
tuxedos.
To bring these guys to
Yes.
justice.
Well,
yeah.
Bruce Wayne does. Batman
Yes.
doesn't.
Well, I mean, same guy.
Same guy. Favorite genre of music? This is pretty much a softball, I'm sure, but
It's going to be heavy metal.
Mhm.
Second will be classical.
who's your favorite classical artist that you'd like to
I keep it simple. Mozart will do.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
talk about? Two ends of the spectrum.
Pegged him for a Wagner guy.
Wagner?
There's a lot of brass, so.
If money were no object, which I'm sure it's not, so I'm not trying to say anything, but if it were no object, what kind of vehicle would you like to see parked in front of your house someday?
Bulletproof Hummer. Just a mini tank. Yeah.
Great.
Also protection against landmines.
Correct.
Favorite, well, I'm sure you probably don't have a lot of downtime, but I'll put it out there anyway. What's your favorite leisure thing to do just to kind of help you balance when you're done stomping on somebody to kind of bring you down?
I like to go hiking into the mountains. I get away from all city structures, all man-made things. I just get into the planet and I shut down. I decompress. I turn my phone off. And, yeah, that's what I do.
So Red Rock must be a favorite that you like to...
Red Rock is a good place. Mount Charleston is my go-to.
Okay.
Anywhere I can. It doesn't even matter. Even if I'm not here in Nevada, I'll try to get out. And
Find that
just,
spot somewhere.
Exactly. Decompress.
If I saw him in the woods, I'd be thinking like dueling banjos in the
No,
background.
I'd turn
But you
around.
wouldn't see me. I would
No,
see you.
I know. That would be the scary part.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, killer's around
No,
somewhere.
I would go Killer Cross out here. What did I do? Who did I make
Right,
mad?
exactly. Exactly.
And I would just say it's too late.
It's too late.
It
in
doesn't
the-
matter at this point.
Feel like a pig.
That's
Right.
it.
Ned Beatty, poor Ned Beatty.
You would say, why are you doing this? And I would say, it keeps me fit.
Right. It's perfect.
Last question. I'll get you off our hot seat. Favorite Las Vegas thing to do when you're in town?
I like to find new restaurants to eat in the hotels.
Okay.
I think the food here and just the general level of customer service, because it's such a competitive city with the locations between the hotels, is outstanding. I like to go to the Strip, and I like to soak up as much people time and society time as I possibly can, and then I disappear again.
Do you like Italian food?
I like all food.
Oh,
All
I didn't
food.
mean to suggest you didn't, but
I do. What was that? That's a decent place out here, Boca de Pepo.
Buca de Pepo, yeah, but up in Summerlin, I'm not asking, but I don't know what side of town you live on, but in Del Webb, up in Summerlin, Del Webb in Sun City is a restaurant. I just had their guests on. I just had the owners on last week. My mother's house, family style Italian, and they do entertainment at night. They sing and they have singers, big band, and all that stuff. But homemade Italian products.
It's pretty legitimate.
I mean, it's right there.
Did you bring me some?
They couldn't get it to me on time, but I'll tell you what. I'll meet you there one night for dinner, and I'll pick up dinner for you.
Excellent.
How's
that's
that?
Let's do that. Bring a ski mask just in case. We'll talk off the air.
Okay, no
We'll
worries.
talk off the air.
No worries. If something happens, I wouldn't want to be seen either, so
Exactly.
it's not a worry.
Exactly.
Listen, we only have a few minutes.
We're at like 5. Yeah.
Any particular message you want to send out to anybody out there that needs to hear from Killer that should be worried?
Well, I'll say this. On my social media, I read everything that everybody writes to me. I'm not always able to get back in a timely fashion, especially now working on television. I'm getting blown up all the time. I believe in interacting and engaging with the fans. I'm not one of those people who, tries to make myself deliberately unavailable. If the fans were not engaging us, weren't in the stands, none of us would be doing this.
Correct.
And I appreciate people reaching out and being supportive of what I'm doing, especially the local Las Vegas fan base. People being able to follow me and go on that ride, it's very much appreciated. And I hope everyone understands that all the things that I do on social media and as a performer and a professional wrestler is all for the entertainment of the people. So, yeah.
As someone who's been here 21 years now,
Yeah.
Originally from New Jersey. Wrestling, as I shared with you before we went on the air, my first live event was in 1976 at MSG, where I saw Bob Backlund beat superstar Billy Graham for the title, and I've had the opportunity to actually interview Mr. Backlund a few years ago, and it's on my YouTube channel. I'm just proud to acknowledge you as an acquaintance. I don't want to say friend because I don't want to, put you off or anything.
That's good.
As it should be.
As it should be. I want to keep my distance. But for what you've done and being a resident and being grown here in Vegas that you are, it just tickles me pink to see you have the success that you have obtained, and I know you're going to continue to obtain. And it's going to be a lot of fun, Danny, to continue to see what Killer does.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Next 15, 20 years, as long as, and I know your body's going to hold up, but we know stuff can happen. It's just, I'm so proud of what you've done to represent Vegas.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's cool. It's cool to be part of the cult.
It's a cool feeling too to watch a guy get to the level that you've gotten, and there's so much more you're going to get to. But
You haven't even come close to the glass ceiling.
But to go I remember going to see him, and oh man, you feel like you're part of it.
Right.
I'm following this guy on his trajectory to the top, and it's a cool feeling.
I get, and you're right on, and I just say I feel like we collectively are going along with the ride with you.
Yeah.
Good, and that's what I want.
With you.
That's what I want. And thank you sincerely.
I think look, I'm getting goosebumps because your path is not written yet. You're writing it, but dude, when you're holding the championships that you want and getting into the places you want to, and I can sit back and say, Danny and I interviewed him once on my little old radio show out of Vegas, and Missy was there to protect me and all that sort of stuff.
She did a great job.
She did a great job at it. Distracted him just enough times.
I have my heels in the car, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just very proud of that. I'm just very proud of the association with you, and God, I just wish the absolute best for you, no matter what you strive to do in pro wrestling. I know you're going to do it, plain and simple.
And watch Impact Wrestling. It's on Pop if you have cable,
which I do.
Pop TV, I think is what. But it's Impact Wrestling Thursday nights, 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
Well, 9 o'clock local time, but I get it on DirecTV, so it's 7 o'clock.
If you get the El Rey Network, check out Lucha Underground. Man, there's so much good stuff that's going on in professional wrestling now, and this guy's a part of it all.
All right. Impact, of course, we can catch you.
Yes.
Lucha. So I don't know if you have any other appearances, but I know you have them all on your website. Give your website again, please.
KillerKross.com, KROSS.com.
Yes, and those are with K's, by the way,
Yes.
so make sure you get it right.
All things Kross Cult.
I can't wait to wear his shirts.
Yeah, he's got great stuff.
I know. I can't wait to buy it all. Anyway, thank you for coming in. Deeply
Thank you very
appreciate it.
much.
Can I shake your hand?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Danny.
Yeah.
We survived.
We did. That was awesome.
My
It's
heart
not
now.
over. It's not over.
It's not
That's
over.
true.
It's
We
never-
still got to get out of the
it's never
studio.
over.
Missy.
Until I say it's over.
Oh man,
He'd be good at night on your show.
that would be a lot of
Coming
fun.
in at night. Killer Kross coming in when it's dark.
FCC's not listening.
Yeah.
That's right. They're turned off at night.
But
Tuesday
the thing
nights.
is, yes, we're gonna have a thumb wrestle.
Okay.
I don't know if you can handle that.
I will train for it.
Okay.
I will train.
I would pay to see that. I'd come in studio, whether I'm on it or not with you, I would come in studio to watch that. Tuesday nights, 10 p.m.
That's right.
All right.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, 1400 AM. As always, want to thank both my guests, Samantha from Gentex, all your IT need, and, of course, Killer Kross. You'll just look them up online. More than you ever need to know is out there. Next week, I have Sam Peters from Allstate Insurance dropping by before we head into Labor Day, and then I'll be setting sail for the East Coast the Wednesday before. So no show Labor Day Monday. Let you know in advance. Danny, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Have a great week, everybody. From Aaron Phillips, Aaron's Hour, live from Vegas. Thank you. Have a great week.
Lost you to the summer wind. The autumn wind and the winter winds have come and they have gone, and still the day, those lonely days.
It's the Vegas Bowl, Tuesday morning at 10 on AM 1400, KSHP North Las Vegas, and KSHP.com.